The command chamber of the Vectrian Empire glowed with blue light as Supreme Commander Thalner stared at the small planet on his screen. A tiny world at the edge of the galaxy. His clawed fingers tapped against the metal table. They refused us? Thalner's voice echoed in the silent room. These humans dare to refuse the Vectrian Empire? General Crack stood beside him, his 4 eyes blinking slowly. Yes, Supreme Commander. They want to talk. They want peace negotiations. Thalner laughed. It was not a pleasant sound. We do not negotiate. We have conquered 47 species in the last century. The humans will be number 48. He pulled up the intelligence report on the humans. The data was clear. Humans achieved space travel only 200 years ago. Their weapons were primitive. Their ships were slow. Their military was small. Everything pointed to an easy victory. Send them our final message, Thalner ordered. They surrender completely or we destroy them. They have 12 hours. On Earth, Commander Jinho sat in the United Council chamber. He was 50 years old, with gray hair and tired eyes. He had fought in 3 wars already. Now it seemed there would be a 4th. The Vectrian message finished playing. The room fell silent. 12 hours to surrender their entire planet. Maybe we should consider their offer, one council member said nervously. They have destroyed other species before. Captain Mina stood up quickly. She was young, only 32, but she was the best pilot Earth had ever produced. No. I have read the reports. Species that surrender to the Vectrians become slaves. Their worlds are stripped of resources. Their children are taken. We will not let that happen to Earth. Council President Deho looked at Jinho. Commander, can we win this war? Jinho was quiet for a moment. Then he spoke carefully. Their technology is better than ours. Their fleet is larger. In a normal war we would probably lose. He paused. But humans do not fight normal wars. The vote happened quickly. Earth's answer was sent to the Vectrians 8 hours later. We reject your demands. We want peace, but we will defend our home. When Thalner read the human response, he smiled. Foolish creatures. General Cracks, take the 3rd Fleet to their Mars colony. Kill everyone there. Show them what happens when they refuse us. The Vectrian ships appeared in Mars orbit without warning. Mars Colony 7 had 50,000 people. Families, children, scientists, farmers. The bombardment lasted only 6 minutes. When it ended, the colony was gone. Melted into glass. There were no survivors. The footage reached Earth within an hour. Jinho watched it on the screen. His face showed no emotion, but his hands were shaking. Beside him, Mina had tears running down her face. They killed everyone, she whispered. The children too. They didn't even warn them. They wanted to scare us, Jinho said quietly. They wanted us to panic and surrender. He stood up and walked to the window. Outside, crowds were gathering in the streets. The news had spread across Earth. Everyone knew about Mars Colony 7 now. Mina, activate Protocol Omega. Contact every factory. Every shipyard. Every research center. Everything. Mina looked shocked. Protocol Omega? Sir, that means total war. Once we start, we cannot stop. They already started it, Jinho replied coldly. Now we finish it. He turned to face the council members. The Vectrians made a mistake. They studied our technology. They counted our ships. They measured our weapons. But they did not study our history. He pulled up a timeline showing 10,000 years of human warfare. Hundreds of wars. Millions of deaths. Weapons that could destroy entire cities. Wars that lasted decades. The Vectrians think we are like the other species they conquered, Jinho continued. They think we will surrender after they hurt us once. They do not understand what they have done. They have declared war on a species that has been fighting wars since we lived in caves. They have attacked a species that invented the atomic bomb and used it. They have threatened a species that has never, ever surrendered when our survival was at stake. President Deho spoke slowly. Then we are truly going to war with an interstellar empire? Yes, Jinho said. And we are going to show them why that was the worst mistake they ever made. Far away in the Vectrian capital, Thalner raised his cup to celebrate. To the conquest of Earth, he announced proudly. His generals cheered loudly. None of them knew the truth. They had just started a war with the most dangerous species in the galaxy. They had declared war on humanity. And humanity never forgot. Humanity never forgave. And humanity never, ever surrendered. 3 months had passed since Mars Colony 7 died. The galaxy expected Earth to surrender. Instead, something else happened. Something the Vectrians did not understand. Every factory on Earth stopped making civilian products. Car factories now built missiles. Electronics companies now built targeting systems. Clothing factories now made military uniforms. Every single facility on Earth had one purpose now. War. Commander Jinho stood in the orbital shipyard above Earth. Through the massive windows he watched 30 new warships being built at the same time. Sparks flew as welding robots worked without stopping. The shipyard never slept anymore. "The production numbers are impossible," said Lieutenant Hyun, staring at his tablet. "We are building ships faster than the Vectrians." "How is this possible?" Captain Mina smiled grimly. "Because the Vectrians build ships during peacetime. We are building ships during total war. Every human on Earth is working toward one goal now: victory." She pulled up historical data on her screen. During our Second World War, humans built 300,000 aircraft in 4 years. 100,000 tanks. Thousands of ships. And that was with old technology and only part of our planet working together. Now we have fusion power, AI systems, and 7 billion people united. Jinho nodded. "The Vectrians think we are weak because our standing military was small. They do not understand that humans keep most of our industrial power dormant during peace. But during war..." He gestured to the shipyards around them. "During war we become something different." The first major battle happened near Jupiter. The Vectrian Fourth Fleet came to destroy Earth's outer defenses. They had 80 ships. Earth had only 30. The Vectrians expected an easy victory. They were wrong. Captain Mina commanded the human fleet from her flagship. She knew they could not win with traditional tactics. So she did not use traditional tactics. "All ships," she broadcast calmly. "Remember your training. Remember Mars Colony 7. Remember why we fight." The battle began badly for the humans. Vectrian weapons were superior. Their shields were stronger. Within 20 minutes, 15 human ships were destroyed or heavily damaged. But then something happened that shocked the Vectrians. The damaged human ships did not retreat. Instead, they accelerated. Directly toward the Vectrian fleet. Captain Daehoon commanded one of the damaged ships. His engines were failing. His weapons were offline. His crew was dying. But he still had thrusters. And he still had mass. "All crew to escape pods," Daehoon ordered calmly. "You have 30 seconds. His second officer stared at him. "Captain, what are you doing?" "What humans do," Daehoon replied. "Winning at any cost." He waited until his crew evacuated. Then he locked his course toward the largest Vectrian ship and pushed his engines to maximum. His ship hit the Vectrian flagship at 12,000 kilometers per second. The explosion could be seen from Earth. 3 more human captains did the same thing. 3 more Vectrian ships became debris. The Vectrian Admiral, Commander Zethus, watched in horror. "They are insane. They are destroying their own ships." "No," his tactical officer whispered. "They are trading ships they already lost for ships we thought were safe. It is brilliant. And terrifying." The battle ended with 26 human ships destroyed. But 34 Vectrian ships were gone. Earth had won. When the footage reached the Vectrian homeworld, Supreme Commander Thalner felt fear for the first time. He watched human ships deliberately crash into his fleet. He watched human captains sacrifice themselves without hesitation. "Get me all intelligence on human warfare," Thalner ordered General Krax. Everything. What he learned that night made him sick. Humans had a term for what they did. Kamikaze. They had done it before, hundreds of years ago during their own wars. They had pilots who flew explosives-filled aircraft into enemy ships. They had soldiers who held positions until death rather than retreat. They had a cultural concept of sacrifice that no other species understood. But the worst information came from the economic reports. In 3 months, Earth had built 500 new warships. In that same time, the Vectrian Empire had built only 70. "How?" Thalner demanded. "How are they building so fast?" General Krax showed him the data. "Supreme Commander, Earth has converted 100% of their economy to military production. Every factory. Every worker. Every resource. They call it total war doctrine. No other species in the galaxy does this because it is considered insane. It destroys their peacetime economy completely. Then they will run out of resources," Thalner said desperately. "No, sir. Our analysts predict they can maintain this production level for at least 5 years. Maybe 10. Krax paused. "Sir, the humans are not fighting to win territory. They are fighting to ensure we can never threaten them again. They will not stop until we are destroyed or they are destroyed." Back on Earth, Jinho received the casualty reports from the Jupiter battle. 26 ships lost. Over 5,000 crew members dead. He read each name carefully. Each person who sacrificed everything. Was it worth it? Lieutenant Hyun asked quietly. Jinho looked at him with hard eyes. We sent a message today. We told the Vectrians that humans will pay any price to defend our home. That we will sacrifice anything to protect our families. That we are not like the other species they conquered. He pulled up the production schedules. 200 more ships would be ready next month. 500 the month after. The Vectrians started this war because they thought we were weak, Jinho said. Now they are learning the truth. They are learning what happens when you attack humanity. They are learning why we are the worst possible species to fight. Mina entered the room, exhausted from the battle. Commander, we are receiving requests from other alien species. They want to hire human military advisors. They want to buy human weapons. They are afraid. Afraid of us? Hyun asked. No, Mina replied. Afraid of becoming the next species that makes our mistake. The galaxy is watching this war. And they are realizing something terrible. If humans fight like this against the Vectrians, what would we do to anyone else who threatens us? Jinho nodded slowly. Good. Let them be afraid. Let them understand. Humanity does not want war. But if you bring war to us, we will show you what 10,000 years of warfare evolution looks like. In the Vectrian capital, Thalner stared at his fleet status reports. He had started this war with 8,000 ships. Now he had 7,400. Earth had started with 200 ships. Now they had 600. The numbers did not make sense. But they were real. And they were terrifying. 8 months into the war, the galaxy watched in stunned silence. The Vectrian Empire controlled less space than when they started. Supreme Commander Thalner stared at the tactical map in disbelief. Red zones marked former Vectrian territory now controlled by humans. How was this possible? They are everywhere, General Krax reported, his voice shaking. Our supply convoys are being attacked. Our mining stations are being destroyed. They appear, strike, and vanish before we can respond. Thalner slammed his fist on the table. We have better technology. Better ships. How are they winning? Because they do not fight like us, Krax replied quietly. They do not follow any rules of warfare we understand. He showed footage from the latest battle. A human destroyer, heavily damaged and burning, did not retreat. Instead, it accelerated toward a Vectrian repair station. The crew had 30 seconds to evacuate. They used 25 of those seconds to aim the ship perfectly. Then they jumped to escape pods. The destroyer, now a giant missile, crashed into the station at half the speed of light. The station and 6 ships docked there simply ceased to exist. They call it the Berserker Protocol, Krax explained. Any ship too damaged to fight becomes a weapon. They waste nothing. They give up nothing. Thalner felt cold. What kind of species does this? A species that has been perfecting warfare for 10,000 years, Krax answered. Captain Mina stood on the bridge of her flagship, the Indomitable. Around her, the crew worked with calm efficiency. They were approaching the Proxima system, where the Vectrians had built their largest shipyard outside their home territory. All ships, this is Captain Mina, she broadcast to her fleet. Today we end their ability to build ships in this sector. Intelligence reports 200 enemy vessels defending the shipyard. We have 80 ships. A young pilot, Ensign Suhyuk, looked nervous. Captain, those odds are terrible. Mina smiled sadly. Yes, but we are not here to win a fair fight. We are here to complete the mission. No matter the cost. The battle began exactly as expected. The Vectrian defenders had superior numbers and position. Human ships fell one after another. But each destroyed human ship took a Vectrian ship with it. Ramming attacks. Proximity detonations. Missiles launched at point-blank range even as the firing ship exploded. Commander Jinho had given Mina a special weapon for this mission. 20 ships in her fleet were not really warships. They were bombs disguised as warships. Filled with antimatter charges. Piloted by volunteers who knew they would not return. Captain Daehoon commanded one of these special ships. He had survived the Jupiter battle months ago. Now he volunteered for this final mission. Engineering, give me maximum speed, Daehoon ordered calmly. Helm, plot a course through their defense grid directly to the shipyard. His crew of 12 worked without complaint. They knew the mission. They had all volunteered. As Vectrian weapons tore through their shields, as their hull began to break apart, they never stopped. Escape pods are locked down per mission parameters, reported his second officer, Lieutenant Bora. We stay with the ship until impact. Good, Daehoon said. He opened a channel to Mina's flagship. Indomitable, this is Spear 1. Beginning final approach. It has been an honor. Mina watched from 10,000 kilometers away as 20 human ships, burning and dying, crashed into the shipyard at full speed. The antimatter detonations lit up space like a newborn star. When the light faded, the shipyard was gone. Completely vaporized. So were the 20 ships and their 300 crew members. May you find peace, Mina whispered, tears running down her face. Your sacrifice will not be forgotten. The Vectrian defense fleet, shocked by what they witnessed, hesitated. In that moment of hesitation, the remaining human ships struck. The battle ended an hour later. The humans lost 62 ships. But the Vectrians lost their shipyard and 189 vessels. When news of Proxima reached Earth, Commander Jinho stood before the memorial wall. 300 new names were being carved into the stone. 300 people who gave everything. Lieutenant Hyun stood beside him. Sir, some people are saying we are becoming monsters. That we are sacrificing too many lives. Jinho turned to him with hard eyes. The Vectrians started this war by murdering 50,000 civilians at Mars Colony 7. They gave those people no chance to fight back. No chance to defend themselves. Now we are showing them what happens when you attack a species that fights back. Yes, we are paying a terrible price. But we are making sure the Vectrians pay a worse one. He pulled up strategic reports. Every ship they lose, we make them pay 10 times to replace it. Every station they build, we destroy it. Every resource they gather, we deny it to them. We are not fighting to conquer them. We are fighting to break them so completely that they will never threaten anyone again. Far away, Supreme Commander Thalner received the report about Proxima. His most important shipyard destroyed. Nearly 200 ships lost. And the humans had paid for it with only 62 ships. They traded ships they could build in a month for a facility that would take us 5 years to rebuild, General Crack said quietly. Supreme Commander, they understand industrial warfare better than any species in the galaxy. They are outproducing us 5-1. And they are willing to sacrifice anything to win. Thalner's hands shook as he read the latest intelligence report. Human scientists were developing new weapons. Stellar missiles that could destroy entire fleets. Antimatter mines. AI-controlled hunter ships programmed to chase Vectrian vessels forever. They are not trying to defeat us in battle, Thalner realized with horror. They are trying to erase us from existence. Yes, Krax agreed. Because we killed their civilians first. We showed them no mercy. So now they will show us none. On Earth, in a secret research facility, Dr. Minji presented her project to Commander Jinho. We call it Project Ragnarok. 500 AI-controlled ships. No crew needed. Each one programmed with every Vectrian ship signature. They will hunt Vectrian military vessels automatically. Forever if necessary. Jinho studied the designs. How long until deployment? 6 months, Minji replied. Once activated, they cannot be recalled. They will chase every Vectrian military ship until either the ships are destroyed or the AI ships run out of fuel. And we design them to refuel at any stellar body. Build them, Jinho ordered. The Vectrians wanted war. We will give them war beyond their nightmares. Back on the Vectrian homeworld, citizens watched the news in fear. Their mighty empire was losing. The humans were coming. And they would not stop. Thalner sat alone in his chamber, staring at a hologram of Earth. That small blue planet he had dismissed as insignificant. That primitive species he thought would surrender immediately. He had made the worst mistake in Vectrian history. He had declared war on humanity. And now, 8 months later, he finally understood what that meant. Humans did not fight wars to win territory. They fought wars to ensure their enemies could never threaten them again. They would burn the entire galaxy if necessary to protect their home. And they were very, very good at burning things. 14 months after the war began, human warships appeared in orbit above Volth Prime, the Vectrian homeworld. For 3,000 years, no enemy had ever reached this planet. Now, 200 human vessels surrounded it like predators circling wounded prey. Supreme Commander Thalner stood in his command center, watching the human fleet through the viewing screen. His hands trembled. His empire had collapsed in just over a year. 47 worlds lost. 6,000 ships destroyed. And now humanity had come to his home. A transmission request blinked on his screen. Captain Mina's face appeared. She looked tired. Older. But her eyes were still hard as steel. Supreme Commander Thalner, she said coldly. I am here to discuss your surrender. Surrender? Thalner tried to sound confident. You cannot invade our homeworld. Your ships will be destroyed. We still have defenses. Mina's expression did not change. Sir, you are not listening. I'm not asking for your surrender. I'm telling you that you will surrender. Unconditionally. Today. She gestured, and new images appeared on his screen. Human ground forces were already deploying on Volth Prime's 3 moons. Massive drop ships were entering the atmosphere. Thousands of them. How? Thalner whispered. Our sensors showed nothing. Stealth technology, Mina replied simply. We adapted it from your own ships after we captured them. You taught us well. General Krax burst into the command center. Supreme Commander. Human ground forces are landing in 17 cities. They appeared from nowhere. Thalner's legs felt weak. Activate all defensive forces. Fight them in the streets if necessary. Sir, Krax said quietly. Our soldiers are surrendering. What? Krax showed him live footage. Vectrian soldiers throwing down their weapons. Entire battalions surrendering without firing a shot. The images showed why. Human soldiers wore black armor that made them look like demons. They moved faster than should be possible. Their weapons fired with perfect accuracy. But worse than their efficiency was their psychological warfare. In one city square, a human squad had captured a Vectrian command post. The prisoners were sitting calmly, unharmed. A human soldier, Commander Tejo, was giving them water and medical treatment. Why are they not killing them? Thalner asked in confusion. Because humans follow something called rules of war, Krax explained. Even in combat they have laws. Prisoners must be treated humanely. Civilians cannot be targeted. Medical facilities are protected. They fight brutally, but they fight with honor. Honor? Thalner spat. They destroyed Proxima Station with 300 crew still aboard. No, Krax corrected him. Those 300 were the crew of the ships that destroyed the station. They sacrificed themselves. They did not kill prisoners. Sir, humans record everything. Every battle. Every engagement. They plan to put us on trial for war crimes. War crimes. Thalner did not understand the term. Krax pulled up human legal documents. Crimes committed during warfare. Murder of civilians. Torture. Destruction of non-military targets. Sir, we killed 50,000 civilians at Mars Colony 7 without warning. Under human law, that is mass murder. Thalner felt his world collapsing. We were sending a message. And they received it, Krax said bitterly. And now they are sending theirs. On the ground, Captain Day 1 led his company through the streets of Kelthara City. They had trained for this mission for months. Urban combat. Building clearing. Crowd control. But most importantly, restraint. Remember your rules of engagement, Day 1 broadcast to his troops. Combatants only. No civilians. No unnecessary destruction. We are here to liberate this planet, not destroy it. A young Vectrian soldier, barely an adult, appeared from a doorway with a weapon. He was shaking, terrified. Day 1's rifle was pointed at him instantly. Drop the weapon, Day 1 ordered in the Vectrian language. You will not be harmed. The soldier dropped his gun and fell to his knees. Please do not kill me. Please. Day 1 lowered his weapon and gestured to a medic. Check him for injuries. Get him water. He is a prisoner now, not an enemy. The Vectrian soldier stared in confusion as the human medic treated a cut on his arm. Why are you helping me? We are your enemies. Because that is what humans do, the medic replied. We fight hard. But we do not torture. We do not murder prisoners. When you surrender, the war is over for you. Word spread quickly through the Vectrian forces. Humans treated prisoners well. Humans followed rules. Humans were fierce in battle but merciful after. Thousands more surrendered. Within 3 days, Volth Prime was under human control. Not through destruction but through overwhelming force combined with mercy. The Vectrian government had collapsed. Their military had surrendered. Their empire was finished. Thalner sat in a detention cell, no longer Supreme Commander but simply prisoner number 107. Through the window he could see human soldiers helping Vectrian civilians repair damaged buildings. Human doctors treating Vectrian wounded. Human engineers restoring power and water. Commander Jinho visited him on the 5th day. The old human looked tired but satisfied. Why? Thalner asked. Why not just kill us all? Why show mercy now? Jinho sat down slowly. Because we are not monsters, Supreme Commander. We did not want this war. You brought it to us. You killed our civilians. You forced us to become something terrible. But now the war is over. Now we rebuild. Rebuild? Thalner laughed bitterly. You destroyed my empire. Yes, Jinho agreed. We destroyed your military. We broke your government. We will occupy your worlds for the next 20 years. We will restructure your society. We will teach you about laws, about rights, about how civilized species behave. And then, when we are satisfied you will never threaten anyone again, we will leave." He stood to go, then paused. "In 3 months you will stand trial. You will answer for the murder of 50,000 civilians at Mars Colony 7. The trial will be fair. You will have lawyers. You will have a chance to speak. That is more than you gave them." Thalner watched him leave. Through his window, he saw a Vectrian child laughing as a human soldier gave her candy. He saw Vectrian elders talking peacefully with human administrators. He saw his people adapting to their conquerors. And he realized the terrible truth. Humans were not conquering the Vectrian Empire. They were reforming it, reshaping it, teaching it how to exist in a galaxy that now knew one absolute rule. Never declare war on humanity, because humanity would win. And then they would make sure you understood exactly why you should never have tried. The price of arrogance was not death. It was something worse. It was being forced to live and learn from your mistakes. Forever reminded of the day you challenged the wrong species. The day you declared war on the worst possible enemy. The day you attacked humanity and learned what true warfare meant. 5 years after the war ended, the galaxy looked completely different. Commander Jinho, now retired and gray-haired, stood before the Galactic Council for the first time. Representatives from 200 species watched him with a mixture of respect and fear. The council chamber was silent as he walked to the central platform. Every species present had studied the human-Vectrian War. Every military academy in the galaxy now taught human tactics. Every diplomat now understood one simple truth: never threaten Earth. "Commander Jinho," the council speaker began, "humanity has requested membership in the Galactic Council. Before we vote, we have questions." Jinho nodded. "I will answer what I can." An ambassador from the Torvan Republic stood. "Your species destroyed the Vectrian Empire in 14 months. You reduced them from 1,000 worlds to 3. You killed billions. How can we trust you will not do the same to us?" Jinho's expression was calm but firm. "We did not start that war. We asked for peace. We offered negotiation. The Vectrians chose violence. They murdered 50,000 of our civilians without warning. What happened next was their choice, not ours." He pulled up historical data on the display. Before the war, humanity had 200 military ships. We were peaceful. We traded with other species. We explored, we learned, we grew. But when attacked, we showed what humanity is truly capable of. Not because we wanted to, but because we had no choice. Another ambassador stood, this one from the Kelthus Union. "But you continue to occupy Vectrian worlds. You control their government. Is this not conquest?" "No," Jinho replied. "It is rehabilitation. We are teaching the Vectrians how to exist peacefully. We are restructuring their society so they cannot threaten others again. In 15 more years we will leave. They will govern themselves. But they will do so with new laws, new values, and a new understanding of consequences." Captain Mina entered the chamber, now an admiral. She carried a data chip. "Council members, I have something you should see." She played footage from Volth Prime. Vectrian children attending schools built by humans. Vectrian workers in factories producing civilian goods, not weapons. Former Vectrian soldiers training as police officers, learning to protect rather than conquer. "This is what human occupation looks like," Mina explained. "We are not extracting resources. We are investing in their future. We are healing what we broke. Because that is what humans do after war ends. We rebuild." Former Supreme Commander Thalner appeared on screen. He was older now, thinner, broken. He sat in a courtroom facing judges from 12 different species. His trial had lasted 4 months. He had been found guilty of war crimes and sentenced to life imprisonment. "I was arrogant," Thalner said in his final statement. "I thought humans were weak. I thought their small military meant they could not fight. I did not understand that humans keep their true power sleeping during peacetime. I did not know that humans have spent 10,000 years perfecting warfare. I attacked them thinking it would be easy. I was wrong. And my people paid the price for my mistake." The footage ended. The council chamber was silent. The Torvan ambassador spoke again, quieter now. "What would humanity do if another species attacked you?" Jinho's answer was simple and terrifying. "The same thing we did to the Vectrians. We would end the threat completely and permanently. But we would prefer never to fight again. War cost us too. We lost good people. Captain Daehoon, who sacrificed himself at Proxima. 300 others who gave their lives in the same battle. Thousands more across 14 months of fighting. We remember every name. We mourn every loss. He paused, letting his words sink in. Humanity does not want to be your enemy. We want to be your ally. We want to trade, to share knowledge, to explore together. But we also want every species in this galaxy to understand one absolute rule. Attack us and we will show you what 10,000 years of warfare evolution looks like. Admiral Mina stepped forward. We have created something called the Terran Defense Initiative. Any species attacked by an aggressive empire can request human military assistance. We will defend the weak. We will protect the peaceful. Because we remember what it felt like when the Vectrians attacked us. We will not let it happen to others. The vote was unanimous. Humanity joined the Galactic Council. 3 weeks later, deep space sensors detected an unknown fleet approaching the galactic rim. The Krothix Empire, a species no one had encountered before, was sending invasion forces toward Council territory. The Council's emergency session lasted only minutes. Their first action was automatic: request human military assistance. Earth's response came within the hour. 200 warships departed immediately. 500 more would follow within days. The message to the Krothix Empire was broadcast in every known language. You are approaching Galactic Council territory with hostile intent. Withdraw immediately or face human military forces. This is your only warning. The Krothix commander, a being called Vextal, laughed when he received the message. Humans? One species threatens us? We have conquered 30 worlds. We fear no one. His intelligence officer pulled up data files. Commander, I recommend you review the human-Vectrian conflict before engaging. Vextal watched the files with growing horror. Human kamikaze tactics. Antimatter weapons. Industrial production that turned an entire civilization into a war machine. The complete destruction of an empire in 14 months. Tactical, Vextal ordered quietly, reverse course. Maximum speed. Get us away from Council space immediately. Sir? His officer questioned. Did you not watch those files? Humans are the species that destroyed the Vectrian Empire. They are the species that invented total war. They are the worst possible species to fight. He stared at the tactical display showing human ships approaching. We came here to conquer. Instead, we nearly declared war on the one species in the galaxy that no one should ever fight. The Krothix fleet retreated. They never approached Council space again. On Earth, Commander Jinho received the report. The Krothix had withdrawn without firing a shot. He smiled sadly. Is this what we have become? Lieutenant Hyun asked. The galaxy's attack dogs? No, Jinho replied. We have become the galaxy's deterrent. Other species know now that aggression has consequences. The Vectrians learned that lesson. The Krothix learned it today. Perhaps future species will learn it without needing to fight us. He walked to the memorial wall where 73,000 names were carved. Every human who died in the Vectrian War. Every sacrifice. Every loss. We paid a terrible price to teach the galaxy this lesson, Jinho said quietly. But maybe, just maybe, that price means fewer wars in the future. Maybe our sacrifice saves billions of lives across hundreds of species. Admiral Mina joined him at the memorial. Do you think the galaxy understands now? Yes, Jinho replied. They understand that humanity does not want war. But if war comes to us, we will fight it with everything we have. We will pay any price. Make any sacrifice, and we will win. Because that is what humans do. That is what we have always done. He touched the names on the wall gently. We are the worst possible species to fight. Not because we are cruel. Not because we are evil. But because we never, ever give up. And because we have spent our entire history learning how to survive against impossible odds. The galaxy is safer now, Mina said. Perhaps, Jinho agreed. Or perhaps it is just more afraid. But sometimes fear prevents war. And preventing war is worth becoming what we became. Across the galaxy, in military academies and government chambers, a new saying had emerged. It was spoken in every language on every world by every species that studied warfare. Never fight humanity. Because humans do not fight to win battles. They fight to win wars. And they always win. The Vectrian War had ended 5 years ago. But its lesson would last forever. You can attack many species in the galaxy. You can fight many battles. You can even win many wars. But you should never, ever declare war on humanity. Because that is the worst mistake you could possibly make.